Well, my educational stance is developing leadership through partnership. We're all leaders within classes. If we're teachers, we're all leaders with the children. And our goal as leaders is to make sure that these children, as Jewish education leaders, is to make sure that these children are connecting to Judaism, and also that they embrace Judaism and they feel comfortable with their Jewishness. So we as teachers are the leaders. We're in the classroom with them. But what has happened, at least in the past, or what I have seen, is that Jewish educators haven't been educated themselves in how to do this, or they have their own way of doing it, where each school may not give the educators a specific curriculum of how to teach Judaica. And so teachers like myself, Jewish specialists who go into the different classes and different grades, are able to kind of do what we want. And a lot of people would think that's great, but that may not be working for the kids. And there's no accountability. And there's no one monitoring you or watching you and reviewing what you're doing and giving suggestions, because you're there kind of doing your own thing, and it may be working or it may not be working. So my stance is to be a leader in the classroom is to partner with other teachers, okay? And as we can see, for myself, one way that I'm becoming a better teacher is by getting my master's in Jewish education. And that way, as a teacher, I can hopefully observe other teachers and give them suggestions. So that's one way that can help. But as going for my master's in Jewish education, one of the major components, or one of the components that has been so helpful for me, has been the field experience. And in the field experience, I've been going to a day school and teaching in a 4th and 5th grade classroom. First, observing the teacher, and then having the teacher observe me teach. So I see mentoring as not only master teachers helping new teachers, but also I have found in my field experience as a new teacher, not a new teacher, but a new teacher to teaching 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, as I can also help a senior teacher, a master teacher. So within a school setting, I think mentoring each other, whether it be a teacher that's been there a long time mentoring new teachers, or new teachers mentoring senior teachers, is the way to help each other be more accountable to the children. And that's the main thing, to be accountable to the children and be the best leader in the classroom that you can be. Let me just quickly, I don't know what my time is, but because Tikva took it all. I'm just kidding. You did an incredible job. Here's some examples. The best way I feel to mentor someone else is, to be a mentee, is for self-reflection first, okay? That is so, you may not think about that. You think, okay, if you're being mentored, then you want to hear exactly what the person is observing and telling you. But as I learned from Marlene, self-reflection is the best way to start. So, for example, here's self-reflection on a lesson I did on Tu B'Shvat. Okay, let's just make sure it's here. Okay. One thing that my mentor told me is that, one thing I told myself is that I stayed on task. I didn't go off on tangents. And that was because of a prior lesson. My mentor, Lisa, told me, you went off task. And she said, why don't you spend 5 minutes preparing before each lesson? You've done all this preparation, 5 minutes just looking at your lesson before you go in. And that made all the difference in the world, just reviewing it. And so I didn't go off task. And now I can take that with me throughout my whole teaching career. And let's see, then she reflected on me for that same lesson, something as simple as, Lauren, you put the handouts in the middle and that empowered the children to come get them, had them in charge instead of you handing them out. Oh my gosh, brilliant, you know? I didn't have to spend my time handing them out, go get them. It was just so simple, and a time saver. And then lastly, my reflection on Lisa. As great as a teacher as she is, there's a mandate in the school to reduce her units, okay? She has wonderful units, not the units, maybe within the units to make them a little smaller or shorter to add a unit. And so like she's kind of, you know, like, wow, how do I do that? And I gave her a suggestion. You know, I said, you're duplicating some of your lessons. The kids are all learning what the characteristics of Moses are and what their characteristics, how it matches their characteristics to be leaders in this lesson. Why are you doing something similar? And she's like, oh, okay, I'll just cut out that lesson. So anyway, as I said, you know what my stance is, leadership through partnership and as a sounding board, and to help you become a better Jewish educator for the benefit of the children. Okay.